Thanks for tuning into our seller interview series. Up to date, we've got a two-site AdSense package for sale in the entertainment niche. Created in October 2013 and 2014 respectively, this business makes $1,211 per month in net profit, and the listing number for this site is 40765. Now, we do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the sites they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, before we dive into the questions here, just a quick summary. As I mentioned, the two sites were built in 2013 and 2014 that monthly revenue of $1,211 with zero expenses. So the net profit is the $1,211. And that is over a 12-month average. With the sale of these two sites, obviously you get the money sites, but you will also get 5 secondary sites that will be included in the sale. So tell us a little bit about your background. Is this kind of your first niche sites, or do you have plenty of them? Have you been in the game for a long time?
I actually have a lot of sites right now, but these sites were the first sites I actually succeeded to generate income with. And right before I became a nomad, quote unquote. And these sites were the ones that allowed me to go finally independent and let my clients go. I was in the SEO world for over 5 years, and I'm still doing SEO for my projects, but I'm not working with clients anymore.
Nice. So you've moved full on into your own sites.
Exactly. And this was the first site, and it's just what happens that after a year and a half, I started opening a lot of new projects, and slowly I stopped being dependent on the income of these sites. So I slowly started to work less on them, and I stopped building and add any more content. And mostly that is the reason, because you can see a downtrend in the site, but it's not because of any kind of penalty or something like this. It's just negligence on my part, to be honest.
That's understandable. For someone looking at these sites, now AdSense is a pretty newbie-friendly monetization strategy, but say someone is looking at this and they're pretty brand new still to how online businesses work. Could you just briefly describe how it makes money?
Yeah, it's very simple. It's an AdSense site, and most of the money is coming from AdSense, but also there is a little income from media.net that is also display ads. And there is income from MGIT, that are these native ads at the end of the articles that look like news, and some people click on them too. We are basically getting money for the clicks that people are clicking in the site. So some people are clicking in the AdSense, some people are going to the news, and mostly that's the way we get the income. All the traffic is organic, so you don't have to pay for traffic. Traffic is coming anyways, and I would say that's it.
So that sums up, that actually answers quite a few of my questions here. But why are you selling the business? Usually AdSense sites tend to be fairly hands-off. Is there a reason why you're not going to just keep it and grow it? Just too many projects or just lost interest?
Yeah, certainly lost interest, or actually never had interest on this niche. It was a business decision. I saw I can do it. I saw I can do it better than all the competitors, and I did it. And it was very good for me and it helped me. But I am doing other things. Like these sites, I don't touch them anymore, and I know there is a lot of untapped potential. You can get very far with this site if you do the right SEO, if you put new content, if you take a look at the content and improve it. There is much to do there. New keywords, I'm sure, because I didn't add content in more than a year now. So there is new keywords on the niche. There is a lot to do, and I just don't have the time to do it anymore, and also don't have interest at all in the niche. So I prefer to let it go, take the cash, and put it in my other projects.
Okay, cool. So you're planning on reinvesting it into your other SEO projects. Moving into kind of the site history, what was the trajectory when you first started this? Did it take a few months to rank, or was it pretty easy back in 2013 and 2014 to rank it up and start getting customers in, or clicks rather?
Yeah, it was very fast. I have to say, I won't be modest, but I am pretty good at SEO, and I did a good job. I was very fast and very aggressive about it because I wanted to rank the sites. I did a lot of work. I was working like 10, 12 hours a day just to on these sites, and I was fully focus on them. So very fast, I succeed to get results within 3 4 months, which is very fast in the SEO world. And but the site started peaking really after a year, and then there was a long time then when it kept improving.
Nice. Now, is there anything you learned from these two sites that you're applying to your current businesses or you might apply to a future project?
Oh, certainly. A lot design wise, a lot. These are magazines. So my business a big part of my business right now are magazines. And these were my first magazines. It's a big part of the work I did with these sites, I did in the new sites. And basically, I can say that what I learned is that you can go into a niche that is perceived as spammy and create a high quality site and actually be better than the rest and stick out. And that worked very well, that strategy.
I've always said high quality is the fastest shortcut, man. You create a good product or good content, yeah, it does stand out because most people aren't doing that. So, is there anything you did with these two sites that just didn't work? Anything that just kind of failed flat on its face?
No, mostly it was a success. I would say that
Nice.
there is the two sides. The first site was like a huge success, and the second site it was more conservative. I wanted to build something that will be more steady. So what I did is I pay much more attention in the content, and I was much more conservative in the link building. It was super clean, and because of that, maybe second site it was not so successful as the first one. Now, it is important to say that I still think that the second site has much more potential than the first site. And because of this, and if I were to continue to keep it up and continue to create good backlinks and continue to add content, eventually the second site will be much better than the first site. But I just lose my energy in the middle. So maybe that's the, if you want a negative, the negative is that you should take it until the end.
Yeah, understandable.
I don't regret it because I've been doing other stuff, but that's the reason why I didn't succeed.
How much content is on the sites?
I would say that in the first one, there is 636 posts.
Wow,
And
that's quite a lot.
yes. And the second one is 349. So clearly, as I told you before, there is a lot of potential here. You can add another 300 articles out of the bat and see an increase in traffic here. And this is without talking about backlinks. Also, I wanted to mention that this second site lately got a backlink from vice.com. It's a picture link, and both sites actually have some very good natural links pointing to them.
Excellent. Now, if you wanted to keep these two sites and grow them, what would be the least risky path you take?
Well, first of all, I will do a full review of all the content. I would improve articles, add pictures, maybe extend some of the articles that have potential. Another thing I would like to suggest to the buyer, I think what I would do is just buy a new domain and redirect both sites into it and just create a big ass authority site and take over this niche because both sites separately have a lot of authority. But if you put everything into one and you just make sure that you take the best article of the two on each and improve it and add pictures and etc., you just can focus all your energy on one project and then start doing link building. I don't think you don't need any black hat techniques here. Some of the competitors do. That's the reason why they always are coming up and falling down and coming up and falling down. And these sites were here since the beginning and they are still there. So you can do guest posting, the usual stuff, keep it clean. I don't know, create maybe 20 to 30 good high quality links a month, and you will see an increase in traffic very soon.
For a new owner, what do you think the biggest risk to these two sites are that a buyer should be aware of?
I think there is no strong risk for penalties because I never use a PBN and mostly I did white hat techniques. So it's not like a big risk, but Google will do what it will do, and sometimes sites can get penalized even if they are not engaging in bad activities. So that could be a risk. The other thing, it may be maybe competition wise. As I told, there is competitors coming in and out all the time, and sometimes they do spam like very strongly, and sometimes they take over for a few months and then they go down, and this can make income fluctuate. But I don't see like something that can be like a huge, other than maybe a Google update that will have everybody on their knees.
Yeah,
So
that just happened a few months ago, but of course it wasn't as big, and obviously your site survived, so that's good. They've definitely survived several pretty big updates over the years, for sure. Certainly the one from 2013 has.
yes.
What skills would you suggest for someone to have before they buy this site, especially if they wanted to grow the site?
Well, somebody who wants to learn and is just starting, it could do all what I talk about, the link building, and it's just a matter of, you will have to study, no? You have to learn how to do SEO and how to create high quality backlinks. But other than that, you need to know how to handle yourself with WordPress, which is very easy. You can learn in less than 2 hours
Right.
how to edit the articles. If you are a native English speaker, then all the better because you can go over the articles, correct them, improve them. That's part of the work. I think just going over every article, improving it a bit, and adding a few pictures will have a huge impact.
Oh,
Because
I
I
bet.
did a similar experiment this month with another site, and it had a huge impact. In almost immediately, traffic went up.
Just curious, when you first started the site, did you outsource the content or were you writing it all yourself?
No, no, it's all outsourced. All
Okay,
outsourced.
cool.
And I'm not a writer and also not a native speaker. So.
Excellent. Moving into some wrap up questions here, would you be willing to sign a non compete and say, hey, look, I'm not going to go start these same sites again that you just bought from me?
Totally, totally. I am going off this niche, not interested in being on it anymore, and I will gladly sign.
Now, I know AdSense is pretty hands off, as we mentioned before, but what kind of support would you be willing to offer a buyer?
Well, I would, as I told before, I think it was 1 hour over the phone, explaining the general workings of the site and what is going on, and maybe giving you a few tips on what you can do SEO wise. And after that, I would generally be available by email for, let's say, 2 3 weeks, and that I can say for sure. Now, if after that you still need something or you don't know how to do something, and I am available, I will be happy to answer the emails, but in a more informal way because I'm still a digital nomad and I'm traveling, and sometimes I'm not fully available. So maybe you have to wait 48 hours until I can answer you. But I want whoever take this site to succeed. So I will do my best to help.
Awesome, that's great, man. Before I ask you my final question here, just to do a quick summary, a wrap up for everyone listening out there. This business was built in 2013 with the second site built in 2014. Has a monthly revenue of $1,211, zero expenses, so that's all net profit, the entire $1,211. That is over a 12-month average. Of course, there are 2 money sites included in the deal, and there will be 5 secondary sites included in the sale. So, my final question for you is, what is your best pitch in 30 seconds or less on why someone should purchase this business?
I think if you are a guy who's starting, you can create a good source of income for yourself. If you're thinking about becoming a nomad, this site could bring potentially 3K a month if you put the work on it in less than 6 or 7 months. So it's a great site to start, and you can reflip it if you want after. So it's good because it is so established and it's been around for a while. So it will be very hard to start a site like this from scratch right now, I think. So you just take something that is already done and working and has authority, and you put a lot of work into it, but you will get your return. So I think it's really worth it, especially
Definitely.
for somebody starting in the world of.
Yeah, definitely. Really like especially the 2013 one that it survived so many updates. It's awesome, and like you said, the second site will have a lot more opportunity as well. For those out there, if you're watching this on YouTube and you want more information about this business, the link will be below the video that would take you to our marketplace listing. Now, if you're watching this on the actual listing page and you want more information, you can become a depositor today. All you have to do is click the button, make a deposit, and you'll be given everything you need to review this business. So thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.